the eagle flies. Oh, what a goal. This kid is 18 years old until July. Have I mentioned he is the youngest player in the NHL? And he's scoring goals like that? Oh, and that dank smile. I love this kid so much already. What a goal. What a game. The Montreal Canadiens defeat the Florida Panthers 5-1. That puts their record to 26-17-5 on the season, and it also improves their record against the Atlantic Division to 9-5-4. That is all good enough to be tied now with the Boston Bruins, despite them having a couple games in hand, and to be 1 point behind God's gift to the earth, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ugh. Woo! Boom! Now, before we get into the game last night, quick update. Paul Byron has a hearing with the NHL Department Player of Safety for his hit on former Halifax Moosehead and Memorial Cup champion Mackenzie Weegar. First of all, I'm very pleased with how Mackenzie Weegar's career is turning out. Carved himself out a spot in Florida's defense, and really happy for the kid, and I hope he is okay after that play. There was absolutely no ill intent from Byron on that play at all. He's not a player like that. And I'm quite confused as to why there's even a hearing in the first place. To me, I thought it was just a typical dump-in play, and Byron finishes his check like any coach would ask his player. And I'm very confused as to why the penalty on that play was called a charge. I definitely think a penalty is justified on the play, but I didn't see a charge there, as Byron's already pretty well halfway into the O-zone, and Mac Weegar's in the corner. Byron then glides into the hit. He tucks his arm, he tucks his elbow, and he finishes through the body. Now, to me, he finished through to the body, and but he did clip the head just slightly. But his head was not the primary point of contact. So to me, it's just an illegal check to the head penalty, and that is it. All said and done. But he's got a hearing today, and you know what? I could live with a fine, especially if Mac Weegar's injured, but I don't see why there should be a suspension on this play whatsoever. And I'm really confused as to why they're calling it a charge. Maybe it's because he's just slightly for a millisecond left his feet, but that was more the momentum of him finishing his check than anything. Anyway, I really don't think there'll be a suspension on that play. Likely just a fine, but we will see very soon, as like I said, the hearing is today. Now, let's get into that game last night. Oh, Antti Niemi, what a performance. 52 saves for him, likely one of his best performances of his career, making plenty of saves, especially early to keep us in it and at the end to keep us in it. And the Habs left him hung out to dry a little bit on a few different occasions, but he hung in there and made some important saves, some important freezes of the puck as well to get whistles, and I thought his puck touches were a lot better than the last time he played. Antti Niemi plays a very aggressive style in the net. You can clearly see the difference between him and Price, but I also felt like Niemi's positioning was very good last night. Seemed like he was always in the right position to make a very good save. And my favorite part of that performance last night, after all his nice saves, was Carey Price on the bench cheering for Antti Niemi, his backup, when he hit that 50 save mark. This team is a tight-knit group. They play for each other. They support each other, and that is evident. And I think a huge reason for that is the leaders that Montreal has on this team. Shea Weber, Carey Price, Brendan Gallagher, Paul Byron. The list goes on and on. This is a very well-built team that enjoys to play for each other. Love watching it. Now, the only goal that Niemi gave up last night was that nasty goal from Mike Hoffman, the first of the game for both teams. That disgusting Forsberg move after a very bad giveaway from Michael Chaput. Now, if you saw my last video, I kind of gave him a bit of a pass for that bad play at the end of the Bruins game where he threw the puck over the glass, got the penalty, and that is what led to the Bruins even getting a point in that game. But gave him a bit of a pass on it because he's been fairly good for us as of late. But 2 games in a row now, very bad plays that have resulted in goals against. So I think it might be time for him to sit, especially where we got guys like Hudon and Pekka looking to get into the lineup and get some minutes. So I don't think it'll hurt Chaput. And he's also dropped off just a little bit in the face-off dot as of late. So it could be a huge help to him to sit, get some rest, and watch the game from up in the stands and get one of these other guys in who really want some ice time. Now, it's 1-0 for Florida at that point. We go into the second period. Montreal gets a... oh... beauty goal on the power play from Captain Shea Weber. And what a play from Jonathan Drouin to set that up. Fakes the shot, gets the touch pass over to Weber, puts it on a platter for him. And what a bomb. You couldn't even see the goddamn thing in the slow motion replay. Unbelievable. It's still surreal to me that Shea Weber is our captain. I don't know if I'll ever get used to it, but I love watching this guy defend as one of the best shutdown D in the league and just throw bombs on the net. If he continues to play this way, I guarantee you he's going to finish top 5 in Norris voting. The guy is incredible. And it's showing in Carey Price's stats as of late as well. But man, what a goal. And the second goal for the Habs on the night too was directly related to Shea Weber throwing another bomb on the net. It misses, but it hits the backboards and gets to Phillip Danault, who makes a really nice play to spin around and get that shot on the net. I have a ton of good things to say about Phillip Danault lately. He is playing with a ton of confidence and he's holding on to the puck a lot more, which is a sign of that confidence. And what I've been seeing him doing is once he gets that zone entry, instead of dumping the puck in, he's using his skating ability, which is very good, to slow up. Once he gets that zone entry, he's gliding and altering his speed, and that gives his teammates enough time to join on the offensive rush with him, and Danault will either then make that pass or put the puck into a scoring area as well. Something also to mention with Danault using that skating as well as he has, when he glides and alters his speed into the zone entry, it also backs up the defenders just a little bit, and that makes it easier for him to make a play. He's playing as a really good center right now, putting up points and playing with confidence, and I have never ever thought that his ceiling was a third-line center. He's a former first-round pick, and I think what altered a lot of people's opinions on him when he first joined the Habs, despite him being a former first-round pick, is that we got him for nothing. Nothing. Now, all due respect to Dale Weiss and Thomas Fleischmann, but come on. We got Phillip Danault and a second-round pick, which has turned into Alex Romanov, for 2 rentals in Dale Weiss and Thomas Fleischmann. That's an absolute steal. A steal. And the center depth for the Montreal Canadiens has improved drastically over the last few years, and Mark Bergevin and Timmins deserve a ton of credit for that. Not only with that Antti Niemi pick, likely our future #1 center, we got Domi now that's looked very good at center and played quite well in the face-off dot last night. And Phillip Danault, who's been really good in the face-off dot and showing a ton of confidence and playing very well. But then we also have Paling and Suzuki coming up as well. So, it's amazing to see, and it makes me very excited for the future of the Montreal Canadiens. So it is 2-1 at that point, and then we go, and then we get that scramble in front of the net, which leads to a goal that eventually gets called back with the goaltender interference call. Now, first of all, I think that goal, if it did count, would have been Lekkonen's, because it looked like Lehkonen got the shot. Reimer saved it with his glove inside the net, and then it came out. Domi ended up finishing it after that. But yeah, I gotta say, I think that was a good challenge for Florida and a good call by the refs to call that goal back. Now, there was a bit of contact from Yoel Armia on the right side of the net there initially. Now, if that was the only contact on that play, you likely have a 50-50 call where you don't know how it's going to go. I'd probably lean toward that goal counting if that was the only contact. But the contact they were looking at was Reimer tried to cover that puck in the crease and Lehkonen punched it out of his glove. So I do think that's a good call, but doesn't matter because Domi ended up getting it back shortly after that and then had that goal celebration calling it a goal. Now, might be an unpopular opinion for me, but I'm not a big fan of that celebration. Maybe it's because he stole it from Austin Matthews, and I wasn't a big fan of it when Matthews did it. I don't like the idea of rubbing that stuff in the referee's face, especially when that call in particular, I did think was a good no-goal call. But whatever, I can see why people would like that celebration from Max Domi. I am absolutely not at all against personality in the NHL. I think it's a lot of fun. But me personally, not a huge fan of that celebration, but it is what it is. I can totally understand why you guys would love it. Then we go into the third period, and that's when we get that disgusting Antti Niemi play. And a big reason why he's able to make a play like that is his skating ability. They said before we drafted him that skating could be one of his weaknesses and that he needs to work on it, but it's one of his strengths. He has good enough speed, and that'll definitely improve, but His main strength is finding skating lanes and exploiting them and being willing to attack them. And his powerful stride and his edge work is what makes him able to do that. He's got his head up, and when he sees space, he is totally willing to attack it. And that's what he did on that play, which led to the goal. He beats Mike Matheson, and then he has that perfectly timed toe drag, keeps the puck on his forehand on that play, and finishes it with style. What a goal. Unbelievable. And that's after the goal he got just a couple games ago in the Colorado game, where Drouin had that nasty sauce pass over to him and Antti Niemi one-times it into the net. That was a nasty one as well, and a huge reason why I think Antti Niemi should line up on that side on the power play. Anyway, got off on a little bit of a tangent there, but whew, what a game. Quickly want to mention Viktor Methot had a beautiful scoring chance in the first period, found a lane, brought it to the net into a scoring area and attacked, and couldn't quite finish it. This guy is snake bitten. He's had goals called back, he's hit posts, but it is coming. I'm telling you, this guy's going to get his first NHL goal very soon, because the chances are coming for him. And if he keeps playing this way defensively with that active stick and using his skating ability to keep up with guys in the O-zone and defend them very well, he's going to stay on that pair with Shea Weber if he continues to play that way, and that goal will come. On that particular play last night, it's like he didn't know he had Reimer biting that hard, and he couldn't quite see. If he would have held onto that puck just a little bit longer, he probably would have had an empty net to shoot on, but nonetheless, that goal for Methot is coming, and I cannot wait for it. He deserves it. Domi last night. Oh, I love the guy. He needs to continue playing this agitating style, because it seems to lift him up. Fan favorite, the crowd's chanting his name. I love it. He has no problem sticking up for himself, sticking up for his teammates, and fans of other teams can't stand him. So you know he is doing something right. He is exactly what the Montreal Canadiens needed, not only for his playmaking ability, but that agitation factor, which he does very well, and he is tough as nails. Montreal may be one of the toughest teams in the Eastern Conference, the way that they are built. And that is a very good thing if they can sneak into the playoffs with this team. They're fast, they got skill, and they are tough. Yeah, so, man, I love seeing Domi play that way. And how funny was that video with him and his father, and seeing Ty in the Habs gear. You know Leafs fans are hating it, hating it. Oh, some stats on the night. Montreal went 64% in the face-off dot. Huge props to Philip Deneau there. Another 17 face-off wins last night. Domi was also very well and with 11, and Antti Niemi had 8. So massive props to them there. We get outshot 53-28. Huge kudos to Antti Niemi. What a performance. 1 for 3 on the power play and 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. The penalty kill has been fantastic of late, boxing guys out and not allowing prime scoring chances on while we're on the penalty kill. So that is great. Really good to see. Couple quick notes. Thomas Tatar has already reached his point total from last year with a ton of games left to go, and Arturi Lehkonen is 6 points away from his career high with plenty of games to go. Arturi Lehkonen is quietly having a very, very good season all around, putting up respectable offensive numbers, but he's been great defensively and really good on the forecheck and on the penalty kill. Montreal has another doubleheader coming up with Columbus and Philadelphia. Those are going to be 2 really tough games, as per usual. Columbus is a really tough team to play, very well built team, and likely I think we'll see Price in that one, and then Antti Niemi in that game against the Philadelphia Flyers. So guys, let me know what you thought about that game against Florida last night. Please let me know what you thought. And I'd like to get back on the train of answering questions at the end of videos. So ask some questions down below in the comments, and I'll try to answer them at the end of the next video. If you like what I have to say, if you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe. And you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ScotianCanadien. What a win, baby. Woo! Go Habs, go!